got anything planned for the day?
Nothing special. Why?
I just thought it'd be nice if we spent some time together. If that's all right with you.
Of course. There's nothing wrong, is there, Bunny?
Wrong? No. Quite the opposite. Everything's tickety-boo.
You all right?
I'm fine.
You've hardly said a word all morning. Perhaps it's me if I've been droning on too much.
No, not at all.
You're not going down with anything, are you? Oh, it often happens. Changes in temperature.
Oh, I'm all right, really.
Let's get plenty of fresh fruit to be on the safe side. Bags of vitamin C is the best defence you can get. You didn't really feel like coming out, did you? You should have said. I wouldn't have minded having a day in bed either.
I'm all right, really.
Look, why don't you have a coffee? We haven't got much shopping to get. I'll buzz around quickly and get it, and then we can go back to the apartment.
If you like. It's just, I wondered now you've had a couple of weeks to settle in, if this might be the right time to talk things over.
What things?
Oh, anything and everything. After all, we don't really know each other that well. We've made rather a good start. I'd like things to carry on that way.
Why shouldn't it?
No reason. It's not very easy to put into words. I just want you to be happy, Fizz.
Well, I am. So that's that.
You see, I'm a lot older than you, and maybe I'm a bit set in my ways. I'm bound to do things that are going to irritate you, and I want you to be able to feel you can mention them to me. I don't want them to just fester on until you're fed up with the whole situation.
There is one thing.
Yeah?
I wish you'd stop saying you're sorry. You're always doing it.
I just want to please you, Fizz.
You spend too much time trying to please me. Stop worrying about it.
It's only natural. I'm your husband.
What about you? If you're going to have this talk, what do you want out of all of this?
All right. It's very difficult to put it into words.
Yeah, well, that's how I feel too. But it doesn't make it any easier. After all, if it isn't broken, then what's the point of mending it? Maybe it's just best if we leave things as they are. Forget all these questions.
I feel I must apologize to you for that unfortunate occurrence during my musical evening.
There is no need. There is no need. It clearly wasn't your fault.
Thank you, Doctor. Do you know that that offending tape has completely disappeared? I don't suppose you have any idea who could have...
I'm afraid not.
I have my suspicions.
She has suspicions about most things.
Incluyendo el pobre Bunny, por lo visto.
You can't blame her for that. He's old enough to be the girl's father. Grandfather, even. Matching what she sees in him.
That is not very nice, Javier.
It's honest. The lifestyle might seem attractive at first, but once the novelty's worn off.
Se va todo para abajo.
That is enough. I'm sorry, that is enough. We shouldn't be discussing them like this. After all, Bunny is still my partner. Let's hope she turns out to be everything he hopes for. And mientras tanto, let's leave the gossip to Miss King. This is to get through enough for the entire community.
Oh, good morning. Oh, Mrs. Webb.
Oh, hello, Miss King.
I really am so sorry about what happened at my musical evening. It must have given you quite the wrong impression of Eldorado.
Oh, not at all. It was obviously someone's rather bad idea of a joke.
Well, I do hope the doctor wasn't too shocked by it all.
Oh, you mustn't worry about him. He's travelled a great deal. I'm sure he's seen a lot worse.
Oh. Well, in any case, I hope to see you both in the church later on. Then I can apologize to him personally.
Oh, I'm not sure we're going to make it today. Stanley's a bit under the weather.
Oh, dear, I'm so sorry.
Still no sign of them?
Hardly surprising after last night.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to get the copy ready for Eldorado. I've got everything except Mrs. Atkins' piece on the new show at the theatre.
Well, I doubt if you'll be getting that. She's just caught chicken pox.
But at her age?
Yeah, she's lying in bed. You're going to have to write it yourself.
I haven't seen it.
That's all right. They're all the same, aren't they? Look, Mum, I've got to go. I've promised I'd meet Trim, so I'll see you later.
OK, love.
Bye-bye.
There's some toast if you want some. You ought to at least drink plenty of water. I told you to last night, but it didn't seem to sink in. Suppose you felt you'd swallowed enough in the pool. Oh, and I've rinsed your clothes out. They're drying. You should be ready by this afternoon if you feel the urge to do another couple of lengths. Nessa was telling me that a lot of the top swimmers use drag suits for training. The extra water resistance works those tired muscles a bit harder. But we decided that you left it a bit late for these Olympics. But never mind. Maybe 96.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I can't imagine why. The spectacle of my husband falling dead drunk into a swimming pool quite brightened up an otherwise dull evening. That and the Blue Movie. Drink this. It'll make you feel better. Eventually.
Thank you.
And if that son of yours ever emerges, you might like to try and nurse him through his hangover. A case of the blind leading the blind, I know, but you've had more practice.
Safe to come out yet?
Yes.
Oh, you look rough.
You obviously haven't passed the mirror this morning. Drink some water.
Oh, do I have to?
You're lucky it's not in a bowl.
Do you reckon she'll be able to buy a doghouse big enough for the two of us?
It's not your mother's way. She'll wait for the guilt to do the job for her.
Have a bloody long wait, won't she?
Mrs. Lockhead,
Miss King.
the husband not coming to church this morning?
Well, he seldom does, as you've probably noticed.
Well, I do hope he was all right after his fall in the pool.
Fine.
Well, do you mind if I accompany you this morning? I really want to find out whether you've had a chance to have a look at my manuscript.
I'm afraid not. But I promise I'll do it soon. Within the next 24 hours.
Well, it's very good of you. I know you've got an awful lot on your plate, what with the Residents' Association and the newspaper.
Oh, that reminds me. You couldn't write me a piece about the new show at the theatre, could you? I need it by tomorrow.
Oh, my dear, I'd love to. Only I can't. It wouldn't be ethical.
What?
Well, I'm a member of the Friends of the Theatre, and people might think I was prejudiced on the subject.
I really don't think it matters.
Oh, well, I think it does to me, my dear. I'm afraid it's out of the question. But I do have an advertisement for this week's edition.
You're selling your binoculars?
For the church. My own little sacrifice, as we must all raise a lot of money.
So desperate for those improvements.
Now, what exactly are we going to do about it? Because if people like us don't help, who will?
I'm trying to come up with something.
Wasn't there a piece in the paper about the residents of Fuengirola getting together a sponsored walk for their church? Couldn't we manage something like that?
Well, I suppose we could.
Right. That's settled. Unless your husband would prefer to organize a sponsored swim.
Perhaps it'd be easier if I started.
What?
Our talk. You must have wondered, at my age, why I never got married before.
I hadn't really thought about it.
Well, it wasn't through lack of opportunity. There have been ladies in my life. Several, in fact. While my mother was alive, I had her to consider, and even after that, I never felt, well, it just didn't seem the right time.
Fair enough.
I imagine, even in your short life, there must have been other people who you got along with. You've never really said very much about the time before I met you.
It's over, isn't it?
Yes, and we could both be grateful for that. I can't help being curious about it sometimes.
I don't like talking about it.
And I must respect your feelings.
What do you want to know?
What was it like?
What?
Cardboard City. I say something funny?
No, not really. It was just that there is no cardboard city, except in the papers and on the telly. A city's where you live or work. Either way, it's still there at the end of the day. No one could take a hose and wash it away. When you're living on the streets, well, you never know where you're going. Well, not for sure. You're always moving on. A car, a hostel, or even just out in the open. Look if you know when the next meal's coming from.
Yes. I remember your sign. I'm hungry. Please feed me.
What's the truth?
No doubt about it. But I imagine there must have been other people who might have tried to take advantage of your situation.
Men, you mean?
Well, yes, I suppose I do.
I'm not a mug. You learn to look after yourself.
And you must have had friends, even on the street, people who helped you along.
I suppose so.
But when the going gets tough, people tend to muck in together, a bit like the RAF, really.
I wouldn't know. I had friends, we all did. You get close and then they just disappear. Maybe they got a job, maybe they moved on, maybe they died. If you thought about it too much, it'd do your head in. You had other things to worry about, see?
So there was no one special?
Why are you asking me all these questions, Bunny?
I'm sorry.
I told you to stop saying you're sorry.
I didn't mean to upset you, Fizz. I just thought we ought to get to know each other a bit better, that's all. I love you, Fizz. I've never been so happy as I am when I'm with you, and I want that to carry on. I just always seem to say the wrong things.
No, Bunny. You say the right things. I only wish I could.
There's no need to say anything.
Ain't young love grand?
Bunny? Painful thoughts. Talking of which, how's Freddie?
Flat out in an armchair when I left him this morning.
We're nearly out of bottled beer.
I thought you were going to order some more.
I can't do everything, can I?
Pardon me for breathing.
And our cash flow doesn't exactly allow for overstocking at the moment, does it?
What happened to the loan from work? So there's not much chance of getting back to see Dad either?
Well, I'll try my celebrated knee dance when I go in this morning, but I wouldn't build your hopes up.
We're not open yet. Oh, it's you.
Can I give you a hand?
Well, I'd be very grateful. You can polish those glasses. Is there something on your mind, Fizz? Problems?
He's in a funny mood today. Seems to think we ought to talk more.
Well, isn't that what married couples are supposed to do? And it's better than staring at each other over the cornflakes.
Yeah, but he won't leave me alone. Keeps following me everywhere. Only got away because I was looking at the restaurant. Be at it again in a minute. Keeps asking me questions. You're supposed to be opening.
Can wait. What sort of questions?
What it was like when I was on the streets, whether or not I had a bloke. That's a big one on his list, that one.
And did you?
Not really. Not like he means.
Well, then why don't you just put his mind at rest?
That's where it all leads. Bunny's a lot older than me. That's all anyone sees, including him sometimes. But he's not. Not in some ways. You don't know the half of it. When I was living rough, I did a few things I'm not proud of. I had to, see. Got to get through the day. That's all that matters.
I can imagine.
I want him to be proud of me.
He is.
He doesn't know me. And if he did, well, maybe you wouldn't want to know me either.
Fizz, you've just got to trust someone sometime.
If you trust people, you get hurt.
And if you don't, you get lonely. Just give him a chance. I bet you he'll come through. I don't mean blurt everything out at once. That might be too much for him, but you've got to start somewhere. Otherwise, it's never going to be worth anything.
Yeah, I suppose so. It's funny.
What?
You put me straight like this when you haven't even got a bloke.
Well, it's not obligatory, you know. Some of us prefer to be alone.
Not me. Maybe I'm not as tough as you are.
So, are you sure you don't need to get anyone in to help?
We can manage.
Of course you can. Don't see why the world should stop because I'm going to Barcelona.
Hi.
Hi.
Where's Bunny? I've come to collect him. It was supposed to be our date together. You don't need him anymore, do you?
Not at all. Please do take him away.
Hola.
You open?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I suppose so.
I'll have a scotch then. And whatever you're having.
I've already got one, thank you.
I'm glad I popped in then.
Wouldn't want you being your only customer.
It'll liven up later on.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. You run a good bar here, Joy. Can't be easy for a woman on her own.
Oh, dear me, I do hope this isn't going to turn into one of those you need a strong arm to protect you chats.
I can't seem to get away from my reputation, can I?
No.
I thought you'd recognise a compliment. Can't be that long since you last had one.
I'm a bit prickly this morning, actually.
Someone been rubbing you up the wrong way, then?
Not intentionally.
Well, you know what causes that, don't you? You should get out a bit more.
You think so?
I know so. You're not like the rest of them, Joy. To them, this is just South End with sun. But you're different. You appreciate the finer things in life. You got taste.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with wanting the best, or getting it. You know, you and I might have a little bit more in common than you think.
All right, I've pinned this up on your board. It's about the sponsored walk for the church.
Be my guest.
Haven't seen Mr. White around, have you?
No, afraid I haven't.
I have the distinct impression that man's avoiding me. My fridge is on the blink again. It wasn't you. I should have known.
What are you talking about?
It was you that switched the tapes. I should have known it. And broke into my flat again last night to get it back.
I just got that back from friends. And I was at Mark Antony's till late last night. But don't panic. You can always borrow it again if you want.
I was hopeless when I first arrived in London.
You don't have to tell me any of this if you don't want to.
I was lucky that I met Jim. He'd been around a bit, showed me the ropes, kept me out of trouble.
Was he your boyfriend?
No, he was just a friend. Of course, I didn't look like this then. I was just plain Deborah. Jim egged me on to become Fizz. Changed my hair, changed everything really. Somehow it made it easier, as if someone else was going through it.
And what happened to him?
I don't know. We lost touch. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Would you prefer it if I left you alone for a bit?
No. Now I want to do something.
Like what?
I don't know. Run, kick a ball, play tennis. You could take me to that club we went to.
You didn't seem too keen last time. I didn't know you played.
I could learn and you could teach me.
If you like.
Come on then, let's get ready.
How are you feeling now? That good. Can I try out my piece about the new show on you?
Do I have a choice?
Not really. Whoops! There it goes again. Is a lively farce which kept the Lost Barkus audience rolling in the aisles under Derek Talbot's usual assured direction.
I thought you said you hadn't seen it.
Well, I haven't. Mr. Talbot also found time to give a hilarious performance as the harassed Lord Brynaughton, while Sandra Talbot lit up the stage again as Maisie, the understairs maid.
Yeah. You don't have to go on it. I've got the picture.
Arthur Talbot delighted the audience with his cameo role as the butler, while Eric and Madeline Talbot were charming as the young lovers. And the cast also included Stephen Fortis, who played the man from the French Resistance.
Aren't you going to see how wonderful he is?
No, well, no one likes him.
Oh.
I'm supposed to be a critic. To sum up, Whoops is a rip-roaring success that should ensure the audience keep flocking, etc., etc.
Oh, it's a masterpiece.
Do you think I mentioned the Talbots enough?
No. They're very modest people. They don't want to hog the limelight.
Right. Well, there's another edition of the paper ready to print.
Good.
Oh, very cool. Very cool, yeah. Till you see the disaster area underneath.
Bit of a heavy night.
Yeah, I noticed. I'm glad you're up and about now, though. I've got a little job for you. Package needs collecting. I've got to go out to the stables, so perhaps you could do it for me. Here's the address. You can drop it off at my apartment, yeah?
Okay, Marcus. Anything you say? Who are the flowers for? That Spanish bit?
I don't like people prying into my affairs. After all, we all know what curiosity did to the cat, don't we?
Sorry, Marcus.
It's all right. I like you, Blair. You know, you could go far with the right sort of training. And as it happens, yes, the flowers they are for Pilar. She's a pretty girl, don't you think?
all right, Blair. You can look, but don't touch. Off you go now.
We'll have to get you some whites.
Why?
Well, most people wear them here.
Arnaud.
Arnaud. C'est toi qui as envoyé cette carte?
Mais non. Tu es sûr? Elle m'a l'air bien intéressée par Madame Fize.
Hey, Fish, won the game? Maybe later. I'm playing with Bunny now.
I hope someone's got an oxygen tent and a pacemaker handy.
Je peux y aller.
It's better than you thought.
Not really, she's just worse.
Hi, Train. Can I join in?
Thought you'd be too busy watching the young wife.
Oh, that was just a joke. I don't know why everybody takes it so seriously. You know it's you I'm really interested in.
Are you playing or what? In a minute. Really?
Good shot!
Don't ever do that again.
What?
Let me win. I'm not a child, Bunny. If you want honest dates, down the line. When I'm good enough, I'll beat you. Got that?
Got it.
Right then, let's get on with the game.
Well, what did you get up to while I was out?
Nothing really.
Well, I've had the most lovely time. I looked in at the clinic, checked out the prices. I thought I might treat myself to a little session there sometime.
Yes, why not?
And then I had to go back to the supermarket, pick up a few things that I'd forgotten this morning. Oh, I met Mrs. Fernandez. She's nice, speaks very good English. Do you know, she remembers this place when it was just a fishing village. Am I boring you, Stanley?
What? Oh, no, of course not.
Don't fib. Oh, what am I going to do to cheer you up?
Hey! Alan! Give us a hand!
What's all this? We're either celebrating a loan, or it's a farewell party before bankruptcy.
Neither. Remember that Brummy couple I was telling you about?
In with bad breath, her with ideas above her station, and probably not a penny piece between the pair of them.
Well, I was wrong. They've just bought an upgrade, and one for their kids.
I take back everything I said about Aston Villa.
Commission should be enough to pay off most of our debts. What? Might even have enough to get back and see Dad.
Yes! Great!
We are the champions, da, 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 da. We are the champions.
That's the first set to you. Shouldn't you be jumping over the net or something?
Oh, since we're being honest, I have to admit I could just about crawl under it. I'm going to have a break before we carry on.
Okay, do you mind if I stand and practice?
No, feel free. I'll just be all right when I've had a sit down.
Okay.
I think we might as well pack up, don't you?
She's not really playing hard to get.
Well, you can't blame her. She's got to grab her chance while she can. He does fall in love 3 times a day.
Yeah, I don't like that, really.
They're not really worth the hassle, I think.
Hi. Any chance a bit of coaching now you've stopped?
Hello, Snowy. Didn't expect to see you here.
On the run. Olive King's still moaning about her fridge. A man's entitled to a bit of peace on a Sunday. I reckon I'm safe here. See, the wife's keen on the tennis then.
Yes.
She's obviously enjoying life over here.
Yeah, I hope so. She had a bit of a bad time back in London, but that's all behind her now.
She's got a lot to be grateful to you for. Mind you, you're going to have to keep yourself fit to keep up with her.
Well, if she can change her image, so can I.
Thank you very much indeed for the lift, Mr. Svensson.
Pleasure, Miss King. But we were coming this way anyway.
I'm hoping to encourage him to have a game with Trina and me. He was too busy gambling with his friends last night.
Well, if you'll excuse us, Miss King.
All for the old and on with the new. Of course, I don't mean you to go too far. There's nothing wrong with dressing a bit snappier and
Mr. White.
really...
I thought I might find you here. I have been searching for you everywhere. My fridge is still making the most peculiar noises.
Oh, hi, Blair. I didn't expect to find you still here.
I was just going. Thought I'd give you a package personally.
Thanks, Bunny. I had a great time.
I'm glad. Because all I want, you know, is...
It's for me to be happy.
It's true, Fizz.
I know, but it goes both ways. I want you to be happy too.
I am. And, well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to push it too hard. You don't have to talk about the past, you know, not if you don't want to.
No, you were right. We have to be honest with each other. It upset me, you know, the things people said at that disco about being flirty and cheap and only after your money and laughing at you behind your back.
Yeah, well, don't pay any mind to people like that. They've got nothing better to do with the time than gossip.
It isn't true, though, Bunny.
I know.
I mean, do you, really? I want this to work. I'm not pretending it's going to be easy, but I'm doing the best I can. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I think so.
Oh, I love you, Bunny.
Mr. Charleston?
Eldorado, please.
Yes.
Did you want something, Miss King?
Well, I was just going to ask for a lift, but perhaps it's not convenient. I'll
No
find...
rubbish. Hop in.
Fizz, did you mean that?
What?
About...
Bunny, I love you. Just remember it, because there's going to be times when you need to.